We've asked Judge Free to look at everything that's connected with this. If there were any failures on the part of the university, that's what we want to ensure that we learn.
We have been tasked to investigate the matter fully, fairly, and completely. We have been asked to do this with a commitment to show no favoritism toward any of the parties whose action we will be reviewing, including the Board of Trustees.
However, when the information about Sandusky became more widely public in November 2011, we did take decisive actions involving Judge Free and his group as an independent third party to launch a full-scale investigation into the university and the individuals who may have been involved at every level, from the top to the bottom.
The purpose of the report was to engage an independent individual who would have unfettered access to all of our information and to conduct an investigation of the matter. And I think we really had two goals. The first was who knew what when.
Can you explain why not?
We do not intend to do an independent review.
And can you explain why you don't think that's important?
Because that's actually not part of what we commissioned the report for. We commissioned the report so that we could have a set of recommendations for how we could improve our governance, and that's
based on false information. Based on false information, you don't care?
I think the time is up.
The time is up.
And we will be closely studying this document as we continue to push forward in identifying and implementing necessary changes across the entire university. The report is new. We're just, seeing it. We saw it for the first time today. You can be sure that we'll be digesting further below the 4 people who were already named who knew what.
Another question. We have not, nor do we actually plan to, do a detailed review of the rest of the Free report.
This morning we received a report from Judge Louis Free, and we'd like to thank Judge Free for his diligence in uncovering the facts over the past 8 months and for issuing such a comprehensive and thorough report today.
Yes.
Are you not horrified today by what Judge Free has said about what happened at this university and its inability to protect children that are being victimized?
Absolutely. We are horrified. We're saddened. We are, there are not enough superlative words to use.
We received a report, and there's been lots of suggestions that we've accepted all 267 pages. That's not accurate at all. We did not take any action on that Free report. It's open for anybody's interpretation. As to the 4 individuals, we have never taken a position on their guilt or innocence. We're never going to do that. We simply hired an independent investigator that found things that weren't found previously. We put them out there, and we're going to let the courts decide, and others can decide on their own judge and jury as to what they are. We're not going to take a position on that, and I don't think we ever said that we were. So.
What is your reaction to the paternal aspects of that, given the legend that he had, success with honor and all of that? Mm-hmm. And if anybody else wants to jump in on that, that'd be fine. But what should we make of Joe Paterno today?
Yeah. I think our reaction is that the clarity that's come out of the report would show that 61 years of excellent service that Joe gave to the university is now marred.
Our administrative leadership also failed. Judge Free's report concludes that at the moment of truth, people who are in a position to protect children and to confront a predator, including people at the highest levels of responsibility in the university, specifically Graham Spanier, Joe Paterno, Tim Curley, and Gary Schultz, did not put the welfare of children first. Graham Spanier, Joe Paterno, Tim Curley, and Gary Schultz. Yeah, I'll say this. I think that there is no question that what the report finds is inexcusable failures on the part of Joe Paterno and others to protect children.
The Board of Trustees, as a group that has paramount accountability for overseeing and ensuring the proper functioning and governance of the university, accepts full responsibility for the failures that occurred.
We were put on notice of the Attorney General Sandusky investigation in March 2011. However, we allowed the former administration to characterize to us the issues, and we failed to ask the right questions, the tough questions.
Another follow-up to that, do you believe, Keith and Karen, that you were misled at that meeting, that you were lied to?
No, not at all. No, I think that there were several legalities, again, the legal aspects of what we were able to be told based on different roles that had been played, and so I think that it was not with ill intent.
Sir?
Yeah, you said you wished you would have pressed Spanier more. That one trustee who emailed Spanier wanted full disclosure, and Spanier knew that. Why didn't anyone back him up?
Well, first of all, you're assuming in your question that the rest of the trustees were aware of that exchange, which is an assumption. Excuse me, sir, don't interrupt me. I'll finish my answer, and then you can ask your next question. You're assuming in your question that the other trustees were aware of that colloquy between that trustee and President Spanier, which is not true at the time. I'll make the point again for everybody to understand. In retrospect, we wish we had pressed upon someone that we had complete trust in. The questions were asked, the answers were given, they were not complete, thorough, open answers. We could have asked more questions, but again, I want to say it's not simply a question of us finding a magic formulation of the question. We asked enough questions that if someone wanted to share what was going on, they could have shared what was going on. Am I clear? I also think it's important, and again, in hindsight, we would have done things differently.